awesome! You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up!
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might grab a bat, I don't know, my rap, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you had shut the fuck up real bad.
Shut up!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us to the BX Sports Jedi Network, where we are tuning in today into the Heel of the Ring podcast. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, as I have my robe on, I am Chef Dan. We are going to be breaking down what happened this past Monday Night Raw, but I am joined by, first off, we have to introduce him, ladies and gentlemen. He is the heel of the ring himself. Mr. Heel, how you doing today?
I am doing so great, and sorry that we had to rush you onto the show from your fancy bath there. But yeah, I can't wait to get this show on the road.
It's not a fancy bath, it's just a man in good clothing. Now, also joining us today is the guy who's known to have the eye. He's sniped out, but he also sees you, can slash through you. He is the Samurai. How you doing today, Samurai?
I'm pretty good. You know, I'm just a little bit, hungover, but I'm okay.
All right, this man was celebrating off of a very good Hell in a Cell event. He was drinking and watching some Monday Night Raw. Hopefully he remembered it. Hopefully I remembered it. Hopefully we all remembered it. We weren't all just drinking off of a good event, but let's get right into it. Monday Night Raw starts off with Cody Rhodes coming out into the ring, cutting a promo, letting us know that the pec is bad. It's hurt. It's torn off the bone. He tried his best and he accomplished what he could, and he felt that it was a privilege to go out there. There was no doctor that was going to stop him from going out there and putting on the show that he did against Seth Rollins. And then he started to allude, I know some of us had the inclination of maybe that he would be back by possibly Royal Rumble if he gets the surgery. They announced on Raw that he's getting the surgery done on Wednesday. We all thought he could possibly make a return to Royal Rumble. But Cody was doing a lot of hinting and trying to let us know that the best way for him to attack that goal that he wants to achieve in truly honoring the American Dream's name, in getting that WWE Universal Championship, he wants to compete in Money in the Bank. But then out of nowhere, slimy, dirty Seth freaking Rollins comes out. He tells Cody that he respects him and the match that that they had in Hell in a Cell, shakes his hand. Cody is just dumbfounded, has no more words to say after that. And as Cody is leaving the ring, Seth Rollins attacks this man, puts the beat down on him with the sledgehammer and with a good stomp to the torn pec. I want to ask you guys, first off, do you guys think Cody, I want to ask you first off, do you think prior to the attack and now after that attack, do you think Cody makes it to Money in the Bank?
First off, I believe he was actually Thursday when he was actually going to get the surgery. But do I believe he makes it to Money in the Bank? I'm gonna go on the limb and say no because I think he hinted at it, but I think the reason why Seth attacked him was so he had an excuse why not to be there, like even more of an excuse, and that's why it put him even more over as a heel, Seth Rollins. And Cody Rhodes is just an amazing babyface right now. Absolutely, like just every promo he cuts, everything he does is just amazing right now. Like anyone who missed this run, you missed some great promo segments, wrestling, you name it. Just great stuff all around. And Seth Rollins is just right now on his A game. So, yeah.
All right. So then I'm going to come right back to you, Heel, but I want to ask this question to Samurai here. Samurai, I want to ask you a question. Now that they've had their third match, do you think that this rivalry between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins is maybe starting to lose a little bit of the heat, and that maybe this injury, it does good for both of them because they can separate from each other for a while? Or do you think even with this promo and Seth Rollins coming back, that this rivalry still has plenty of heat and they can still do plenty more in the ring?
Yes, I do. I mean, I think that the rivalry should be over after the third match. Just based off of, people might start to think that it's just a typical WWE program where they just do 6-7 matches and it's going to get really boring really quickly. So I think yes, the feud is over for now, at least. For now, they could revisit it in the future. But as far as Cody Rhodes, he is actually getting the surgery on Wednesday. That's what they said.
Okay, I knew it was Wednesday or Thursday.
But other than that, like yes, I think that the feud is over for the time being, and they could revisit it down the road if Cody Rhodes wins, or I shouldn't say if, but when Cody Rhodes wins the Universal Heavyweight Undisputed Championship of the world.
Okay, Heel, same question to you. Do you feel that this rivalry between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins is maybe losing a little bit of its heat, or they still got plenty more to go?
No, they still got plenty more to go. And you saw me just go, bing. That's because I just thought about something that we're going to talk about later on. Because something just struck in my head that tells me there's something that could potentially happen at Money in Bank that's going to make this feud even go further.
Yeah, I saw the pictures that you just put up. That sledgehammer attack was pretty brutal.
Yeah, it was, and congrats to Seth too for being so smart with the sledgehammer. He's making this look vicious without making that pectoral muscle, even worse. Because let's be honest, all it takes is one wrong move, and that's. I mean, who knows what can happen with this?
It's potentially career ending if he didn't take the precautions that he needed to take.
Okay, so we're all in worry we're all worried for Cody Rhodes because some people may have been skeptical about the bruising, but as you saw within the next day, it's not makeup. They didn't have to recode it. If anything, it looked even worse than it did in Hell in a Cell. And hopefully you guys say that there's more to come with this rivalry. I'm hoping there is more to it, but we shall see as we move on to the next segment of the show. That right after this happens, you have a match between Becky Lynch and Dana Brooke. And as the match is starting off and Becky is kind of has her control of Dana Brooke, out of nowhere, the 24-hour championship and that whole kerfuffle and everyone involved runs out of there to, try and, I don't know what happened, but that night, Dana Brooke capitalized and won the 24/7 championship in the ring in the middle of her match with Becky Lynch. And Becky got so irate because this is the second night in a row that someone has won a title with her in the ring, and she said it, that she said, hey, we're fighting for that title. That's happening right now because no one else is winning titles in the ring while I'm around. That goes on. She gets the appropriate matchup set. She gets everyone out of the ring, tells them if anyone messes with her match, she's going to punch their face in. Everyone left, and as the match is going on, someone did decide to come out. That was Asuka. She came out, let it be known that she was here to mess with Becky Lynch from the jump. Tried messing with Becky. Becky still moved on with the match, was a trooper. The match went back and forth. But then when Becky could have capitalized, there was a reversal. Dana holds down Becky Lynch for the pin, and Asuka helps her out, and Dana maintains the championship. So Dana Brooke wins a match on Raw. First off, I want to ask you, Samurai, what did you think of that entire segment right there? Just that chaos that we saw on Monday Night Raw involving the 24/7 championship.
Well, I mean, just what it was, chaos. I think that the 24/7 title needs to just go away forever. Like it's run its course. It's pretty boring, and it's not funny. I mean, they tried to make it funny, but it's just not happening. I mean, if R-Truth has it, yes, it's funny, but other people who have like serious competitors like Akira Tozawa, they have whoever else is out there in the 24/7 mob, like they need to stop. Like, come on now, they need to find something better to do with those guys. They have 3 hours of Raw to fill. They can't put them in serious, meaningful matches. They got them chasing the 24/7 title, which is pretty embarrassing if I do say so myself.
But Samurai, even you can win the 24/7 title. Think about that.
Yeah, but I'm never gonna go to a wrestling event. I mean, you know.
All right, so Samurai was not too much of a fan of that. We could. I'm one to say that I agreed a little bit with that sentiment. I felt that they were kind of doing Becky Lynch a disservice, seeing as how she just came from fighting for the women's championship in a great match at Hell in a Cell to her contending for the 24/7 championship. It felt like a bit of a downgrade to me, but I'm seeing some new heat that they're possibly trying to generate between Becky Lynch along with Asuka and Dana Brooke involved in this, or maybe they could just maintain a Becky Lynch versus Asuka match. What's your thoughts on what they're trying to do with this segment right here, Heel?
I don't know what they're trying to do, and I disagree with Kevin in the comments. I think even if you get a larger than life superstar to hold it, it's not really going to do much with it. Honestly, like I said, this is R-Truth, his title. The best thing you can do with his title, just give it back to R-Truth and let him, do some stuff with it. Or you can, just flat out, just let him be funny with it, or just retire the title. And yeah, as you saw there, that was a cool moment. I'll give him that. That was a cool, view. But I mean, I really don't know what else you can do with the 24/7 championship if you don't want to give it to R-Truth and just let him be funny with it.
I think they should send it to the moon.
Send it to the moon.
All right, fellas. I guess we all weren't a fan of that segment right there. So we could just drop it and move it on. We don't have to dissect it anymore. It was what it was. From there, Miz and Maurice make their entrance to the ring.
Oh, yeah.
It's Miz TV.
Of course you picked that picture.
I have another picture. Jeez. Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, do we have to do it? Do we have to do it?
You're the one that
Don't
chose
do
the
it,
picture.
heel.
You're the one that chose the picture.
Don't do it, heel. Don't do it, heel.
you gotta get
All
a
right.
nice view.
Okay. All right, but Maurice and Miz came out and they were hosting Miz TV, promoting the fact that Miz and Mrs. were doing a double segment after Raw, when out of nowhere, Riddle comes out. Riddle is out there and he is interrupting Miz TV. He's giving a shout out to Randy Orton. And when Miz interrupts him, he's still, letting it be known, something that he's let known on a previous Friday, on a previous SmackDown, that he wants to challenge Roman Reigns for the Universal title. And he feels that his best chance of doing that is Money in the Bank. And then he gets into a segment with Miz where
a size,
about size of gonads and whatnot, and then Maurice has to let the world know that her husband has above average gonads. I don't.
Yeah, that compared to this.
Oh my god. I'm gonna chime in here. I don't.
Go ahead.
I don't know how else to describe it, but come on now. Nobody wants to hear about another man's, package or size or nothing like that. Nobody wants to hear that.
And no one wants to see him prove it either. So they get into him. So Riddle challenges Miz to a match, which Maurice accepts.
Over
Miz declines. But then out of nowhere, Riddle gets attacked
By Tommaso Ciampa.
by Ciampa, which was I didn't know where that attack came from, but he just came out of nowhere and attacked Riddle, and so Miz accepted the match. I don't even want to go.
I mean,
what were your thoughts on the segment and the match overall?
The Miz tried his best to carry this segment because you could tell Riddle needs some work on the mic. And the Miz just tried his best to work with the segment. In the middle of the match, it just feels so awkward because Riddle just like, I'm gonna rip your pants off. And it's just like, what am I watching again? Like, I get it, wrestlers are supposed to wrestle in tights sometimes, but like, this was just too awkward. And then on top of that, this match started over the size, I guess. I don't know. And then when it was over, I was just like, okay, well, it was what it was. On to the next one.
Samurai, what did you think of the match between Miz and Riddle?
And more importantly, do you think the Miz is average? Or what?
It was horrible. The beginning promo was weird, but the match was okay. I don't really understand why they had to talk about the size of Mrs. Balls, but nobody cares. I mean, come on now. But he actually, Riddle won with the RKO, so there's that. Still paying homage to Randy.
Okay. So I think we're all in agreement here that Riddle's in-ring work is really, really good. The thing that he needs to work on in order to help push this promo along maybe is the on the mic. Just promoting the match.
It's weird though, because he
back and forth.
It's weird though, because he cut a great promo. I think it was the night after Mania. Or no. It was the Monday night following the SmackDown that they lost the titles. There it was.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
It was weird because he cut a great promo, so he's shown that he can do it. But I don't know, maybe it was just off night for him this month.
It could have been, but we definitely shall see what happens there.
I'm going to add to that. Actually, believe it or not, he actually when Riddle gets serious on the mic, he drops the host on a persona and gets really serious, and I like it. Like that's all I want to add to that. Like you saw him get
Yes.
serious
Mhm.
on
Yes.
the mic, and it actually made me, I guess, care about Riddle.
Yeah,
Yes,
maybe
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
problem.
You're absolutely right. That promo was a serious promo where he wasn't joking around. So maybe we could see that, Riddle can definitely cut some strong promos as far as serious, but he maybe needs to diversify himself, because that's what some of the greats can do in the ring, is they can show you different sides of their faces. They can become you've seen the infamous mask where you have the happy and the sad mask, as far as in regards to acting and court gesturing, things of that nature. Well, he could be a multifaceted guy, with a bunch of faces, something like an Ashura, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like with that being said, like I think that they should start something with Tommaso Ciampa as well, because like he's just running in and attacking people. I think he's like trying to become like a hitman or something. I'm not sure, but they need to do something with him. He's far too talented to be wasted.
We'll see where they book him.
I mean,
We
I thought
definitely
what I thought was going to happen was I thought we were going to get a match between Tommaso Ciampa and Riddle. That would have been good.
maybe that happens on SmackDown.
We'll see.
I mean, because I'm gonna talk about this later on.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about something. I want. I'm gonna talk about this point later on, but maybe that's something they set up for a Friday Night SmackDown. But let's move on there from that to the next fight on the card. This was a tag team matchup that I enjoyed. This one, You had the Street Profits versus the Usos. And this was a very good match for me personally. I thought this match went back and forth. I thought all the competitors showed something. I thought that this match was very, very interesting. You had the Street Profits. They ended up winning the match via countout, so they didn't pin the champs. So the champs still have that to fall back on. It's like, hey, you beat us, but you didn't even pin us down, and there could potentially be, a challenge between the Street Profits and the Usos for, for the titles, but it won't be a regular match. Maybe it'll be something, a different type of match, a special match. But I want to ask you, Heel, what did you think of the matchup itself between the Street Profits and the Usos?
It was just a really nice TV match. Really, really good wrestling. And I like the fact that what they did with the Street Profits here. It proved that, hey, even though the Usos are your unified tag team champions, that doesn't mean there aren't some tag teams that can't, possibly beat them. It was actually a pretty good match. That's all I really got to say about it.
Okay. Was there any, sequences in the match that you felt were noteworthy, something that where maybe some guys showed their athleticism and things of that nature, where you're like, all right, this is maybe looking for something, maybe they could experiment during a pay-per-view and show us something crazy.
Oh yeah, I think there's always something they could possibly do that's crazy, especially if they give them like a nice, probably Steel Cage or Hell in a Cell match, something like that. Because obviously both of these tag teams are really athletic, but as for like a spot in the match, I can't really think of one right now. Although I did like how vicious the Usos have been. I like how vicious they were in this match. So like I said, it was just a nice, solid TV match that was really, really good, and I like how they booked both these teams.
All right, Samurai, I want to ask you this question. The next coming up pay-per-view will be Money in the Bank. So that means these titles have the potential to be hung up high on the rafters for these guys to climb some ladders and get the titles. Are these two tag teams you feel right, like it talent-wise, as far as cutting promos and in-ring ability, for potentially getting Money in the Bank over? Because it's going to be that's going to be also a middle of the year type of event. It's more so something to set up something else. That's what Money in the Bank usually does. Do you think these guys can help that get over? Because that's what the matchup is going to potentially be.
You mean like as far as the ladder match goes? Yes, I think that. I mean, you saw Angelo Dawkins when he hit a tope suicida, not tope suicida, but what is it? Plancha over the top rope, which is I've never seen him do that before, which is surprising. And as far as they're both a high flying team, so yes, ladder matches are the best way to go as far as these two tag teams go. But as far as what you said earlier about highlighted moments in the tag team match, when Montez Ford hit the from the heavens, he almost like touched the briefcase. I don't know if you saw that, heel, when he jumped off the top rope, he was almost touching the briefcase.
Oh yeah, both these tag teams are supremely athletic. Yeah,
that actually surprised me. I mean, when Corey Graves actually noted that he got so much airtime that he almost touched the briefcase. I think it was the women's briefcase, but he touched it nonetheless. Almost touched it. So that was surprising.
Oh yeah, that was very, very, very fun. To me, personally, the best part of the matchup is ironic. For me, was the beginning of the matchup, because when you had Angelo Dawkins out there, the first thing he did, just being smart, boom, gets the other Uso off the turnbuckle, isolates the Uso he has in the ring, and he was just putting in a whole lot of moves on him. Him and I believe, was it Jimmy or Jay that he was in the ring with when it started off?
it might have been Jimmy.
I mean,
I don't know.
I think they're it's hard to tell.
Jimmy. It was Jimmy. So him and Jimmy, that first sequence between him and Jimmy was fun for me because they were really wrestling. Like, it wasn't something where you didn't need any flashy moves. It's reversals. Let me get you here. Nope. Let me outsmart you here. Boom, boom, boom. They're, in the clinch doing a whole lot of reversals, just really grappling with each other. That was fun for me. But like you guys said, that was a great match for what it was on Monday Night Raw. Very, very fun. And from there, we could move on to the next promotion there. Maybe you guys want to attack this really quick. Bobby Lashley comes out on the show and he kind of lets it be known that he wants to possibly contend for some titles and things of that nature, when out of nowhere, Austin Theory comes out. Theory says that Lashley came out there to steal his spotlight, and Bobby's only out there because someone helped him in his match, but Theory was able to win by himself. And that was just a weird promo, me personally. Heel, what did you think of that promo between Theory and Lashley?
Yeah, Theory's promos are naturally kind of weird because I get it. He's got to put the whole selfie thing over. And he does a really good job with it. Granted, and Lashley's always been kind of like iffy on the mic. That's just, the stick has never been his strong suit. But just I don't know. Just like the promo, it wasn't there. Although, and I do got a prediction here, and I was saving this exactly for this spot in the show. I don't think Cody's going to be at Money in the Bank. However, especially with Lashley saying that he, is going to win the title, I do think there is a chance, not saying it's going to happen, but there's a chance that Rollins will probably climb the ladder, then Cody will probably come out of nowhere and then cost Rollins the briefcase, and Lashley will get the briefcase. That's my prediction.
And
Lashley will get it. Yeah, because of that.
That's heel giving us a little spoiler there for Money in the Bank. We could break that down when it's roughly around the corner, but that's a very good prediction. I'm loving that one right there. Samurai, I want to ask you, do you think there's a possibility for Theory and Lashley to to contend against each other and have some good matchups against each other?
I mean, yes, I do, because Austin Theory's a great wrestler.
Whoa, wait, I'm sorry for cutting you off. The Jedi has to show us something. He's in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
There.
So look, fellas, coming live from NXT 2.0. The Jedi in the building, scouting out the NXT 2.0. Yes, let's get it. Hit those likes. Subscribe to the Heels and Ring podcast. And back to the Raw preview. See you guys later.
Show us the ring one more time, Jedi. Show us the ring one more time. Yeah, that's a nice view.
Remember, look out for the Keith Lee. You suck.
Yeah, we definitely will.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jedi.
5K service. 5K service. 5K service. You know, the millions of dollars for the 5K subscribers.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, Samurai. What? Back to Lashley and Theory. Do you think there's any possibility there for them to compete against each other and possibly entertain us in the ring? Do you think that's a entertaining duo? Do you think those two are an entertaining duo for you?
I mean, like I said, yes and no. I mean, Lashley's good in the ring, but like his promo ability is not where it should be. And I think Theory, he may be done, may or may not be done with Mustafa Ali, but that can we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I think that it should realistically be a triple threat match at Money in the Bank, because Theory and Austin Theory and Mustafa Ali are not done by a long shot, and I do see them being Bobby Lashley. I do see Bobby Lashley being involved in the United States Championship picture.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we can end that right there. That was just a quick promo. Get into the next match that happened on Monday Night Raw. Dominic Mysterio makes his return after getting injured by Veer Mahan. He faces Veer Mahan. So Dominic Mysterio trying to get some revenge against Veer Mahan. Those two had a match that, I want to ask you, what did you think of this matchup? Because Veer Mahan wins this one via disqualification because he earlier attacked Ray, and then Ray got his revenge back on Veer Mahan. What did you think of this matchup between Dominic and Veer Mahan?
For me, this was just a battle to see who's the most green. And I was like, all right then. If I'm being honest with you, if I was like the Simon Cowell Wrestling, I think Veer ironically is. Now commentary try to put over Veer as like, oh, he's still fancying and everything like that. And he's like, the real wrestling, as we've been saying. I'm like, then why are you booking him that way? Why are you booking him as like, a brainless gorilla type of guy? Because they kept saying on commentary, oh, don't be fooled. He's actually really smart, really intelligent, and all that. I'm like, well, he doesn't act like it. I'm like, if anything, he just comes out, does his thing, and leaves. I'm like, but okay. And I'll be honest with you, this is just a match. When I first saw it, I was like, a part of me was interested just because Mysterio name is behind it, but I'm not really invested into it. Matter of fact, I'll be honest with you, I don't remember who won. Was it Dominic? I think it was.
No, Veer Mahan wins via disqualification.
Okay.
Ray attacked Veer Mahan.
Okay, yeah. Then Veer won, and I was just like, all right then. And I get it. They're trying to pair Mysterio and Dominic up for Veer to help get Veer over because of how great Ray is and all that. And also because the storyline already there with Dominic and him. But in reality, it's like no one's really invested. I don't think the storyline's really getting over. It's like Ray and Dominic could be doing something a lot more better. Like imagine a babyface Ray and Dominic, which I mean, I guess you don't have to imagine that because Ray only worked heel like once. That was all the way back in like WCW. But seriously though, imagine them against like the Usos for like the tag titles. That would be amazing. But no, instead they're stuck with Wrestling Veer, who, no offense, has been rather lackluster.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Heel very much so thinks that Dominic was the better wrestler in this match, and that the commentary kind of took away from the match because they kept trying to put Veer Mahan over. Samurai, what did you think of this matchup?
I'm gonna agree with both of you and say that it shouldn't have happened. I mean, realistically, I don't really like Dominic Mysterio's in-ring ability. He needs a lot of work, a lot of seasoning. So
I'm not gonna say a lot of work. He's actually pretty good for a guy that is pretty much forced into the main roster.
Well, I mean, true, but at the same time, he should really be in NXT, like developmental, because just because his dad's Rey Mysterio, that doesn't mean he has to strap the racket pack to him and send him put him on the main roster already. That kind of bothers me because it's really just showing favoritism towards the Mysterio family,
Okay. All right. All right. So that was that matchup pretty much. You had Veer Mahan versus Dominic Mysterio. They're maybe trying to build something with that, with two wrestlers that need some seasoning. They definitely need to grow more both in the ring and on the mic, and we shall see what happens there. But then we go to commercial. We come back from commercial, and Rhea Ripley is talking about how control is just an illusion and how Judgment Day can't be controlled and how their message is spreading like a wildfire. Damian Priest says that she's given the truth.
There's a sec.
So, can you guys hear? No echo? All right. Damian Priest says that he was she speaks the truth. Their destiny has no limitations, and that they could do whatever they want. Rhea could become champion, and that there's a lot more for these guys. Edge takes the mic, and he lets it be known that he's ready to introduce the newest member of Judgment Day. And when it's announced, Finn Balor comes out. And everyone's shocked because he just got pinned by Judgment Day. What in the world is going on? And while they're in the ring, they're, everyone shakes hands. They're giving a good look. Everyone's, raising their arms up. And Damian Priest begins to tell Edge how he's one of the greatest of all time, and that they're ready to ditch the last limitations of what's been holding back Judgment Day. And what's been holding back Judgment Day for them was Edge, and they attacked Edge. They attacked him, just took complete control. Like, they just kept beating on him, taking their turns. Rhea Ripley even got some in on her and in on him. And whenever Edge tried to fight back, they just kept doing him worse and worse. They put him through the announcement table, as you could see right there. Edge continuously tried fighting back, but then they threw him back into the ring with a whole bunch of chairs. Broke off a piece of the chair, and there you see there Finn Balor is just, he's got Edge in some submission, some quasi crossface crippler with the chair bar, just cranking back Edge. And that's a big deal because Edge has gone through a myriad of neck injuries. So that's one place that Edge doesn't want to be. Then after that, they hit him with the concerto. First off, I want to ask you, Heel. You said this. I believe you had stated in the Hell in a Cell breakdown that we had, or maybe you talked to us backstage, you felt that the next guy coming into Judgment Day would be Finn Balor. But me personally, I didn't see them ditching Edge the way they did. Did this promo go over for you?
It actually did 100%. As a matter of fact, I can see why a lot of people would argue this was at least the segment of the whole night, because Finn Balor and the whole entire New Judgment Day, I guess you can call it, turning on Edge was just it was shocking. I don't think anyone saw it coming. I mean, people saw Finn Balor joining Judgment Day, but no one saw them completely turning on Edge and crowning Finn Balor as like the new leader. And now it creates a lot of options for you to do as a booker, as a writer. Do you want to continue the storyline with AJ and maybe a new partner? Maybe it can be Edge with Liv Morgan versus them now. Or, do they just do their own thing now and just wreak havoc all over Raw? Or, just what do you do with them now? There's a lot of things you can do. And it's just it's amazing how well this whole thing went over. When they did the whole chair shots to Edge, of course I was really worried about Edge's neck because that's where his injuries are, and that made him retire, and hopefully he's okay and this storyline can continue, and because it's been actually really good so far, and I can't wait to see what they do with Judgment Day, aka the Aaron Judge stable.
Samurai, I want to ask you the same question. That the way they just thrashed Edge and ended it off with the concerto, that was the coup de resistance right there. Well, what did you think of that promo? Did it go over for you the way it went over for me and Heel?
Yes, actually, believe it or not, it did. I just like you both. I didn't see, Finn Balor join. Well, I didn't see him joining right away. I thought it was going to be like a stretch out type of thing, Like I was hoping like after like Money in the Bank or something, but apparently they want to do it now. I guess because Edge is hurt, maybe. Edge actually might be hurt. That's what might be going around the rumor mill is that Edge is hurt. That's why they did what they did, But like. The crossface fight. I think Corey Graves called it the Glasgow Smile or something. I don't know, but it's I don't know. I like that entire segment. I just didn't expect not Corey. I expect somebody else other than Finn Balor to join. If that makes sense. But I mean, I like it. I don't know if it makes Edge. I mean, it definitely makes Edge into a face, but I just don't. I think there will be more people joining the Judgment Day after Finn Balor because they can't just do a 3-man type of thing, right?
I mean, it could. Well, they couldn't. They couldn't there because it would have felt like maybe so many people. Like if you let 3 people in and 4 and 5, you'd never know really where how far the numbers can go with that. But I get it. You don't want to turn into like a modern day NWO. Yes, you
like,
definitely didn't want that.
I
think. What? Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I think that like they can at least add one more member. It wouldn't hurt them. They could have a 4-man thing to contend with the bloodline if they go down that route.
We definitely shall see, but I think we're all in agreement here that segment went over. We all are worried for Edge, and hopefully that he can recover correctly and things will go well in his recovery. But wow, me personally, I didn't expect them to do what they did to Edge, and that was very, very surprising. From there, we can move on from that over to the next matchup on the card. This one, it's not even about the match we're going to talk about. Cedric Alexander versus Omos. Omos goes into the ring. He hits them with, 1, maybe 2 moves, and he just pins Cedric Alexander. And as you know, him and MVP are about to leave, the Dirty Dogs come out.
The Dirty Dogs.
The Dirty Dogs, ladies and gentlemen. You have Dolph Ziggler
They're boring. Get them off TV again.
Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. I mean, I
I
actually,
love Robert
you know,
Roode.
I'm gonna say like this. For me personally, I'm kind of glad to see Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode back, because it actually adds something to the tag team division, which there are no tag teams. So there's
That's
that.
not true. And I'm the opposite. I'm glad to see Robert Roode. No, Dolph Ziggler.
I mean, I don't know why you find Dolph Ziggler so boring. I mean,
We could get into that with him, but what else were you saying about this promo?
well, I mean, I'm just glad to see him back. I mean, we did. We did hear that Dolph Ziggler was backstage at AEW this past week. We didn't know what was going on with that, but he was just there to see his brother. So, you know,
Okay.
there's something brewing there, but who knows?
All right, and Heel, you let it be known that you feel that Dolph Ziggler is boring, but you're happy that Robert Roode is back. What did you think? What did you think of those two guys coming out there and reintroducing themselves to the crowd and teasing almost an MVP?
Yeah, like I get it. You know, Robert Roode, you know, he's like his first run was a little bit lackluster as the glorious Robert Roode or whatever, but the guy has shown before, especially in TNA, like he has it. He just needs to find his groove, I think, at WWE. But Dolph Ziggler, though, I've seen this guy again like everyone else for years, and I don't get his fans and why they like him. He's so boring. There's nothing good about Dolph Ziggler. There really isn't. Is it because he shakes his booty when he makes his entrance sometimes? Is it because he flips his hair? I don't get it. Like, I really don't. And by the way, this is a reference to the last thing we talked about. Kep said he mentioned it, but I think a lot of people mentioned the opportunity of Finn Balor joining the Judgment Day. But anyway, back on this one though. But again, I mean, I don't know. I really don't care about this tag team. That's how I was like, get him off my TV. Like, unless Robert Roode is going to tag team with someone else that he can actually try to be a lot more entertaining with, great. But if not, get him off my TV, because I don't like Ziggler. I like Roode. I just don't like the fact that he's in this team. Other than that, get him off my TV.
Okay.
I'm gonna add to that and say, what if? I mean, this is just pure fantasy booking. But what if they go out and get James Storm? What if they combine? What if they put James Storm with Robert Roode again and form like a WWE style version of Beer Money?
Well, like you heard me before, as long as he's not with Dolph Ziggler, I'm all for it. So yeah, James Storm with Robert Roode again, I would love that.
All right, and salute to you, MK. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to ask you, what did you think of this segment between, the Dirty Dogs coming back, making their entrance, and teasing MVP and getting the, things of that nature? What did you think of that?
I was kind of surprised that Ziggler and Roode came back. And not to mention I feel like they're coming back as baby faces for the foreseeable future, which is kind of a little bit, interesting, I guess. But I guess for me, it's one of those things where it's like, these are just two guys for almost to beat up for the next few months. So, okay, I guess.
All right, so we're all I think we're all in agreement here that this segment has a ways to go. They maybe didn't get started off on the right foot, but there could be some development to be had as far as the entertainment value with this with these tag teams. From there, we can move on from that fight to the next one on the card, Ezekiel versus Otis. And this match, Ezekiel wins the match in a very good fashion. I think him and Otis isn't a talented in-ring guy to me personally, but I felt like the match did what it did. It allowed Ezekiel to flourish and be the guy that he was in the ring. His athletic ability is just really, really good in the ring. And then he grabs the microphone. He tells Kevin Owens that he wants the rematch. He needs the rematch against Kevin Owens. I thought that was just going to be the end of it, but Kevin Owens comes out and he tells him that I will give you the rematch. I will give you any type of match you want, anything, whatever, but you just have to admit your name is Elias. And what did Ezekiel do? He grabbed the mic. He looked at Kevin. He said, I admit it. My name is Elias. Then he said he lied, gave Kevin Owens a big knee to the face, and said, I got my rematch. Ran out the ring and was super happy about it. Heel, I want to ask you, man, what did you think of Elias giving the confession, and now he gets his rematch against Kevin Owens?
Well, he didn't give him the confession. I remember this segment because I consider myself a really big Ezekiel fan. What ended up happening is he said he took a page out of Kevin Owens' book and he lied. He simply lied to get his way. So yeah. He's still Ezekiel. He just lied to get his rematch. And overall this segment was just really fun and enjoyable. These two have really incredible chemistry, as a matter of fact. Like the whole back and forth has just been really entertaining. Do I think eventually they should have their final match? Yes. And as you said, I agree with you. Otis is not the best in the ring, and he's not a good wrestler by any means. If anything, he's just a nice tag team piece like he's doing right now, or a nice comedy wrestler, I guess. But I feel like this whole thing did what he had to do. And it went over nicely.
Okay. MK, I want to ask you a similar question. What did you think of Kevin Owens and Ezekiel returning back to their chicanery and shenanigans of who is Ezekiel, who is Elias, and what did you think of the match between Ezekiel and Otis?
I don't. I mean, the match was what it was between the two. Because for me, I cared more about what happened after the match between KO and Ezekiel, which, again, I have to agree with Heel here. I like the story between these two. I do have one suggestion, that if they are going to do the rematch, which they are, I hope they do an I Quit match between the two. But instead of saying I quit, Elias or Ezekiel will have to, in order for Ezekiel to lose, he has to admit that he is Elias. Kevin Owens would have to beat it out of him in order for him to, in order for Ezekiel to tell the truth, so to speak. That's one suggestion I would bring. But overall, I thought this whole entire segment was pretty fun. It was really entertaining. So yeah. So I just want to see where they go from here.
So MK with a very interesting suggestion there. I like that one. Them if they are gonna have their final match, it'd be an I Quit match. So you could have either Ezekiel say I'm Elias, or you could have Kevin Owens. He could say I quit, because that just essentially means he's gonna give up and just conform to the fact that Ezekiel is Ezekiel. Samurai, I want to ask you, what did you think of Kevin Owens and Ezekiel reigniting this feud and then possibly going for another match against each other? And what did you think of the Ezekiel Otis match?
Well, I mean, Ezekiel and Otis was a subpar match. I mean, I'm going to disagree with Heel and say Otis is not a bad wrestler. It's just like he's really restricted in what he can do. So, I mean, he works a certain style, and the fact that he doesn't get a chance to really shine, it's not so much on him. It's on the time constraints that they have. But the match was fine for what it was. As far as the Ezekiel Elias thing, I think that realistically Kevin Owens and Ezekiel should have been over at Hell in a Cell. And the fact that we're getting another match out of it, it's just I don't know. It's fine. It should really be their last match, and Kevin Owens should be going on to something else.
All right. So I think everyone is in agreement that this feud it deserves one more match, but after that, if they try and squeeze anything out of it, they're kind of squeezing a dead lemon there. We could move on from there to the main event of the night. It was a 4-way match for the contendership for it was number one contendership for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. You had Alexa Bliss versus Doudrop versus Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. This match, ladies and gentlemen, it went everywhere. As you see there, Liv Morgan jumping up to give Rhea Ripley a Hurricane Rana. You got that right there. That was just pure mayhem in all four. Well, Rhea Ripley, she was distracted, kept looking at Bianca Belair, kept telling her, "I want the title and this is for you." But then she ended up getting superplexed by Doudrop. But both Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan were at the bottom there to help power bomb. This was just craziness right there. And you see Liv Morgan jumping into the sky to try and land a power bomb, or land a big body slam, cross body slam on Doudrop. But Doudrop caught her in the air, slammed her down, and just when Doudrop was about to pin her, Rhea Ripley comes out of nowhere, hits Doudrop with, I forget, what's Rhea Ripley's special again?
Riptide.
Yeah,
Riptide. That's right, Riptide. Hits her with the Riptide, and she pins Doudrop and becomes the number one contender for the Women's Championship. And then Judgment Day came out and joined her in the ring as they looked at Bianca Belair. I want to ask you, MK, first off, before you get to the result, what did you think overall of the matchup? And then, did you think Rhea Ripley deserved this shot?
To answer your first question, I thought the match was a lot of fun. I thought the finish with Rhea doing the finish. I'm blanking out what's the finish. What's her finisher name? But she did it to Doudrop, and she actually got some extra height on that, which was actually
on the Riptide. Yep.
Riptide. There you go. She did the Riptide to Doudrop. It was like, damn, she actually got some height on that move. It was a fun match. I agreed with the result with Rhea going over, because I felt like this was a way for Rhea to move on from Liv Morgan, and I think this is the perfect next step for Bianca's run as champion to go after Rhea Ripley, and I think this could be a big feud between the two for the summer. So I'm cool with that. Let's see where they go with Rhea Ripley going after the championship, with her being a part of the Judgment Day stable. So yeah.
All right, Samurai. Same question to you. What did you think of the match, and did you think Rhea Ripley deserved her shot?
I thought the match was pretty good. I mean, I do like Rhea Ripley's new attire. I mean, you could see her leg tattoos, which is, pretty hot, I guess. But
Giggity.
Yeah, giggity. I just feel like she does deserve this opportunity. And does she win at Money in the Bank? No, because there you go. There's a really good shot of her leg tattoos right there. and right there you can see it like there when she's trying to like, I guess, avoid the Hurricane Rana. It's just, to me, she deserves what she gets, and it's a long time coming, and especially with her heel turn. I mean, and that was a long time coming too. She needed a new like direction, a new character direction to go in, and so do I think she deserves it? Yes. I don't think she's winning in Money in the Bank, but you know, that shadow is going to be for what's her name, Becky Lynch, and what's her name, Bianca Belair at SummerSlam. But I think that's where they're going with it. So yes, I do think that she deserves the match win, and her, her new music is actually pretty good. We're gonna touch on that a little bit. But yeah, that's all I want to say.
All right, Heel, similar question. What did you think of the match? Did you think Rhea Ripley deserved a shot? And also, I just want to ask you personally this question because I saw this going on in the ring. They started to play with the idea of Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan tag teaming together. Do you think that's something that they should pursue as well? But start off with the match that happened on Monday Night Raw.
I think the match was actually really, really good. Again, I say this every week. I feel like on any type of WWE show, whether it's pay-per-view or Raw, but literally no one knows how to put on a great women's match or even a good one like WWE does. Like if you want to watch great, women's wrestling, you come to WWE. That's just how it is. Like they're just the best for it. And I hate to even say women's wrestling because some of them wrestle top tier as better than the men, if not as good as them. So, but anyway, but yeah, they were toying around with that idea of Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan. I mean, it looked intriguing because obviously they have similar styles, but I don't think they'll go in that route. Although it would be interesting. I think they were just doing it because it was necessary in the psychology of the match, and just like them, I think the right person went over. However, I think this is just one person. Bianca is just gonna beat en route to her title match. However, I will give Rhea a slight chance of winning because you never know. Judgment Day could get involved in some way or another. But yeah, I think Bianca just another. It's just something to keep her busy for now. And by the way, if Alexa ever did do a crossbody into a body slam, that's the most over a person right there at the women's division because that would be super impressive, especially on Doudrop. I'm just gonna say that. Yeah.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was, that wasn't it for the show because we still got one more piece of news that we're gonna go out on. I'm gonna put up this picture, but I don't know if you're gonna see it. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, if you can see it. You probably can't see it because that's Raw letting you know John Cena will make a return next week to celebrate 20 years of the Seed Nation. I just want to ask you guys really quick before we end off the show. Are you guys excited for John Cena to make his return to Monday Night Raw? MK, start off with you quickly. Yes or no?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. And
you said next week.
Just to correct you, it's actually 3 weeks from now.
Oh, 3 weeks from now. Okay, my fault.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm pretty excited for that. Big match, John.
All right, Samurai. Quickly, are you excited for the return of John Cena?
Yes, and yes.
All right, Heel. Lastly, are you excited for the man you sometimes can't see?
Yes, my first ever event was actually at a Raw in Dallas, and my first ever T-shirt was actually a John Cena T-shirt that I can no longer find. But oh my God, like Cena is without doubt the GOAT of just this generation. He's our Hulk Hogan. You know, he's our man. You know, he's our dude, so to speak. So yeah, I mean, how can he not be excited to see this guy? Like, I mean, he's literally, like I said, he's the GOAT. So yeah, I'm excited, and yeah, I know Kev usually gets on to me for looking at my phone, but I was doing like a gimmick when he said next week. I was like looking at my calendar, and my phone's like, I was like,
okay.
13th. I was like, what? Yeah.
All right. But yeah, C Nation soon's return. I want to say thank you guys so much for joining us on the Heel of the Ring podcast, where we broke down this past Monday Night Raw. Look out for the NXT breakdown. That's coming soon your way. And we will also be breaking down SmackDown. But from MK, Samurai, and Heel, myself, and the Jedi, I want to thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you. Have a good night.
Awesome! You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up.
Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might grab a bat, I don't know, my rap, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt